Frontenac Provincial Park for our February installment of our Frontenac Challenge. This time the hike in was, because of the mild weather we've had, it was all ice coming in, so we were kind of skating across the trail a bit. If you take a look at the lake, you can see that it's all just total glare ice across the lake. But we've got a beautiful day in February right now. So this video we're going to make, I'm going to show you the first thing that we do when we get to camp is we make sure we get our tent up. Last time we were here, we brought these closed cell foam pads, and the pad that we put it on was actually about 3 or 4 inches of solid ice. We put these things down and we didn't feel any cold whatsoever. Last time we brought 9 of them, and it covered most of the tent, or all of the tent, plus some of the vestibule. This time we brought 12, so it should give us a spot out front of the tent. These things are great because they just click in together. It takes no time to put these things down. And with a warm enough bag, if it wasn't super cold out, you could probably almost sleep on these if you had a decent enough bag. But we're not going to take that chance, so we brought thermarests like we usually do. Okay, so there's a good base for our tent. We'll just pitch our tent on there, and I'm going to shift the whole thing around so the door of the tent is facing. Okay, so the pad was put down, got the tent put up. Just going to put the fly on now. On the last video we made was actually posted on Mark's site, YouTube site, and there was a guy who sent a message and asked what kind of tent this was, and I sent him a message back saying it's a Eureka tent that was bought in 1991, and after it was purchased, I took it on a 6-month trip throughout Europe and used it a lot through many European countries, and I've used it since for camping trips at Frontenac Park and wherever else I want to go. And for a tent that was made in 1991, it's holding up pretty good. I've bought newer tents and had problems with the zippers when they've been only a few weeks old. But this one, the zippers are amazing. Never had a single issue with any of the zippers on it. There's just a small rip in the fly. But other than that, the tent's amazing. Last time we were here, I put these guy wires out and decided I'd leave them up this time, or leave them on, so we don't have to mess around. about camping in the winter time is that you can't put stakes into the ground because the ground's frozen. So you have to tie it off somehow. And the good thing about this place is that you can keep on going with as much twine as you need until you find a tree that's in line with where you want your wire. And then you just go ahead and tie it off. Simple as that. Okay, so the fly's on. I'll put the vestibule on. So we've got the tent set up now. A little bit of time has gone by and everything is all set up inside. We've got a couple of marmot bags. The bag that I have is rated to minus 19 Celsius. Last time we were out here it dropped to minus 13 in the evening and it was super warm. Tonight's supposed to go down to minus 6, so that bag's going to be more than warm enough. Mark's bag is rated to about minus 7 or 8. He's also going to be absolutely fine, especially with the closed cell foam underneath the tent. So tent's all done. Mark spent some time putting up some tarps. The wind is coming across the lake, so it took us a little while. It took him a bit of time to get those tarps up, but the tarps are all set up. And we've got our fire ready to go. We'll make another video when we come back to start lighting the fire. I'm going to try a little trick that I've done in the past, lighting a fire in the rain. And some of the stuff that we have on our table. Got our pot of chili ready to go. Some naan bread in foil, that'll just go on top of the fire. Some peanuts for a snack later. We always bring chocolate. It's tasty as well as good for energy. And when you're out here you need a lot of energy and you need to continually feed your body with energy, because if you don't then you're going to end up cold. So one of the things you need is calories and lots of them. Okay, we've got a couple of lights, some food for breakfast, stove's all set up so we can make some tea later. And again, we brought the candle lanterns. They're great for a little source of light, but they're also they're even better to hang inside the tent at nighttime. Gives you a source of light, and it also cuts down on the condensation. Once it drops below 0, your body and your breath tends to put off a lot of moisture, and you can actually have water dripping on the inside of your tent if you don't vent your tent. And our tent isn't really vented that much. It's a 3-season tent, and the only venting on it is at the 2 ends, and we keep those sealed up. So the candle lantern is what we use to get rid of any condensation. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a walk down to the lake, and we're just going to sit down by the lake for a little bit and watch the sun go down, and then when it starts to get dark we'll come up here and we'll start building a fire. So we just took a walk down from the campsite, which is 20 meters up the hill, and we're sitting beside the lake. Almost 0 wind, probably about -2, -3 maybe. Just an absolutely beautiful day. Our camp's all set up, fire's ready to go. Sitting down here having a cup of tea before dinner, and we're just going to enjoy the sun. Probably wake up tomorrow with a sunburn on their faces, for it's so beautiful out here. Couldn't ask for a nicer day to be out here in February. A pair of skates on this lake would be amazing, but based on the weather, it's probably not the safest thing to do. But you can, as you can see, you could skate for miles and miles and miles, and it's all just ice, not a piece of snow on the lake. We cut a little hole in the ice so we can throw some Pepsi in there, so we've got something other than water and tea to drink. And again, it's just an amazing day to be out here. You'd never believe it was February. Okay, we were just down by the lake for a little bit, and it started getting windy and the sun started to set, but it actually just came out a second ago. And we're going to start our campfire. So one of the things that we discovered the last time when we were building a fire is that it took an incredibly long time because a lot of the wood was either frozen or slightly damp inside. So we're going to try something new, or something that I've done in the past. Hopefully it'll work. So got myself a match and a candle. I've already got the candle lit. The fire's already built. I'm just going to try and set the candle on the inside here so I've got a constant flame. Got a lot of birch bark in here, some small pieces of birch bark, which is one of the best fire starters you can ask for. Birch bark's starting to go. Candle's still burning. Just start adding some small pieces to the fire so it gets going real good. So the combination of the candle and the birch bark makes for a really good quick fire. And I've even been successful building a fire when it's been raining. If you can keep the rain off the top of the fire, you get your candle in there, and you can keep on putting some small pieces of wood on it, and birch bark is the key. You can build a fire in the rain, even if it's pouring rain. That candle going, keep it well protected, and then you're good to go. Pine needles are also pretty good. Because there's not a lot of snow, this stuff is easy to find. Last time we came up, there was a lot of snow on the ground, and all of this little stuff we couldn't find, so we had to take some of our regular wood and split it, which isn't that big of a deal, but this is much easier. Just go and collect the small wood that we find throughout the campsite. And what took us almost an hour to do last time took us all of 5 minutes to do this time. So whenever you're outside in the wilderness and you're camping, bring lots of these, some tea lights. Not only can you burn them for light, but they're awesome for building fires. Okay, so we went to bed fairly early last night. We went in the tent because it was starting to get kind of cold. And this morning we woke up and here's the outside of our tent. So we've had a little bit of snow. I think it started around 3 or 4 in the morning. But not a whole lot of snow, not a big deal. Got it this morning and there were still some coals. So came over with the knife and some of the wood that we had and just kind of whittled a few filings onto the fire like that. Really sharp knife. Got the fire going, no problem at all. Got some water boiled, some coffee already made, and we're just going to see what the rest of the day brings.